Hey everybody, you're watching and listening to the We Are Rising podcast. This is your host, Andrew Benjamin. I apologize. I am developing a cold, so got a little bit of a hoarse voice and sniffles, so apologies for how I sound. But we're continuing on with the excuse me. And with us here we have Daniel from Poland. How are you doing, Daniel?
Hello, everyone. It's a big honor for me to make a highlight of 10 years of Rising Fighting Federation. A lot of unforgettable moments, a lot of unforgettable chaos submissions, whole events, a lot of great fighters, and I'm really looking forward to what we will talk about today.
Great, great. Before we start off, I just want to get over with paying the bills. Podcast is sponsored by Shroom Bars. Please go to eatshroombar.com to use code WAR at checkout for 25% off your first order. These are healthy protein bars that have reishi, turkey tail, microdose of mushrooms, cordyceps, all good stuff. No bad ingredients and all that. They're great for a pre-workout or post-workout, or if you just want to have a healthy snack at work or on your leisurely time. Again, go to eatshroombar.com. Please use code WAR at checkout for 25% off your first order. It shows that you tells the guys, oh, people watch a podcast and actually supports stuff that we're advertising on. So yeah, that'd be great if you could do that. Again, eatshroombar.com. Use code WAR. Check out 25% for 25% off your first order. Yeah, and we have Fudo Hata-san here of us all the way from Japan. So he'll be able to give some perspective on stuff as well. So Daniel, tell us, 10 years of Ryzen. How have you enjoyed this promotion? Have you enjoyed this promotion overall in its 10 years of existence?
During the first press conferences, I was a bit distant. How it can look like, what they can do in the monopolized by some three-letter promotion market, monopolized by some three-letter promotion. How can they make some tribute to the old times, to the pride, even to the dream promotion. All of it worked out very nicely. It's immediately became my favorite fight sports promotion, not only MMA promotion, of course. And we've been here, I think, a lot of people from the fan base from the beginning. Some of them joined maybe a bit later, but as I can compare the first events, the first years of Ryzen, when it was initially the concept, when was the real federation, because they've been loaning the fighters from all over the world from different promotions, to nowadays where it's fully established MMA promotion. It's not uh, federation itself, at least not in 100%. Okay, that goddamn heavyweight Grand Prix was kind of tribute to the first Rising shows, but actually the Rising is independent promotion right now, fully independent since many years.
We have a question from Falling Star. I'll defer to you, Daniel, first. Serious question: did you ever think that Ryzen would reach the popularity in Japan that it has today?
You know,
So I think he's asking
during
if you ever thought that. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. During the Fuji TV era, I was actually been wanting the status that Ryzen has today. I've been wanting the high ratings in Fuji TV, but at that time in 2017, 18, 19, probably as much as a lot, like a lot of fans, I couldn't imagine Rising without Fuji because the Pride FC story, the Dream story in TBS, and we've all been thinking there's no big JMMA without terrestrial television. Right now, Rising is a really big promotion without that goddamn Fuji or TBS. Uh, and I couldn't say and I couldn't think about the position that they have today, the financial condition and stuff like this in 2017, 18, 19, so several years ago. So it's truly impressive the fact that they can make the Tokyo Dome shows, the Saitama Arena Stadium mode shows, and they are solding out the arenas not once.
I'll say this. I think a promotion becomes successful once people stop speculating that it's either losing money or it's a money laundering promotion. And I don't see that anymore talked about Verizon anymore.
Yeah,
I remember that I
definitely.
was like that was a talking point for quite a while. Oh, it's well not money laundering, but that it was losing money or whatever. And that seems to have pretty much died, I think, for the most part.
I think so. Yes, yes, yes. And I remember, that all talk about the low ratings. It isn't that JMMA anymore because the ratings weren't even high as the Dreams on TBS. So yeah, we are in a good place today.
Mm. And for Hatasan says Pride during Pride time, Fuji TV was very big, but Rising Time Fuji TV was already one of the weakest stations among ground TV stations. That's very interesting. Um,
I've seen only the comparison between the stations on New Year's Eve, and I'm doing it until today. I know that's not anymore Dream on Fuji, but I'm always curious how Fuji looks with other terrestrial TV stations, and I would say uh, that's depending on the year. Sometimes it was kind of third place, sometimes it was fifth place among the TV stations. So depending on the year of the New Year's Eve, but sometimes there were better times, sometimes more tough times
I feel
in
like
terms of ratings.
my,
Yeah,
my impression is that I think NHK is maybe the number one channel. I think
definitely.
then maybe TV was it is it the Asahi? It's not Asahi, I think it is. TVSI, excuse me. And then maybe TBS and then
Right.
Fuji TV and the
Fuji right now, Fuji TV is the last one or the second last one. It's TV Tokyo. It's always been on the last place. Then Fuji, in terms of overall audience, uh, and there's also Nippon TV.
oh yes, Nippon TV. I forgot about that. By the way, also forgot got brought up. I forgot that NHK is like kind of like
Yeah,
the BBC.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. It's a public TV.
it's
Yes,
actually
and
there's a political party that's I forgot what it's called, but it's like called like disband the NHK. Oop, sorry, there's a fly. The disband the NHK or something like that. There's like just an entire political party that's just like based on just trying to disband, make NHK not I think no longer a public thing. Um, so okay, so but like so when Ryzen obviously lost the Fuji TV deal, did you think that maybe this is like was it beginning of the end?
I think everyone thought about this thing, and it can happen again. Uh, and what can I say more? There's always that goddamn Pride FC story phantom after about what happened after they lost the TV deal. But it's so different times today, and
Mm,
it's safe to say that COVID actually saved the promotion.
mm. Yeah, I think obviously if this was like 1999, 2007, maybe even 2010, 2011, then it would not be it would be bad all it would be all bad shit for Ryzen. But I think yeah, now it's better. I think eventually they were gonna get kicked off Fuji TV anyway. That just seemed like how it was gonna go anyway. So I guess I think it's kind of better that it happened when it did rather than later on because you know they got to try other things. They got to try
Mhm.
Unext, the Alabama
Abema.
TV, yeah, um, and yeah, I think because of that, yeah, I think it wound up being kind of a blessing in disguise. Now, listen, that doesn't mean that they listen. If Fuji TV came back to them, they would take it in a heartbeat. I know that for a fact. So they, but like they managed to adapt pretty darn well. For a promotion that was really, it seemed at one point dependent on food on their terrestrial TV. Sorry, for after so I said Pride and Happa by Fuji TV lost as a reason. Yeah, and most sponsors lost the interest to invest because general public. I think that's also another reason as well. There really wasn't. I don't remember there was any sponsors that really pulled out from Rise. I didn't hear anything about that. They just lost a TV deal, but nothing else. They didn't lose anything sponsor wise, unless that happened. We just never heard about it.
Yeah, right now they had to figure out how to earn money in a different way by the pay-per-view. They had to, make some more serious promotional moves because before I have an impression that they thought that being in on Fuji will do everything or a lot of things in the promotional way. After they lost the TV deal in 2020 22, yes, it was in 22. They had to, more sacrifice into some things, and of course, as you said, it's not 2007, 6 anymore. There's a younger audience, there's more channels, there's more ways to promote the fighters,
No,
definitely because of, social media.
yeah.
It's social media era. So, yeah, all that things caused that we are in the place that we are tomorrow, that we are now. Yeah.
For Hatsusan said, Ryzen time sponsors already know Fuji TV loss might happen, so the sponsors include that as a risk. Okay, that's interesting to know that they kind of expected that.
And first and foremost, Ryzen beat Fuji TV symbolically because
Uh
Yoshia Uzatsuyo
oh God.
got beaten on New Year's Eve.
So
So Fuji TV employee,
yeah. So speaking of New Year's Eve, you've been to some Ryzen shows, including New Year's
of
Eve.
course.
What are all the Ryzen shows you've been to so far, Daniel?
Mm, it was right now it's numbered because I've been at Ryzen 8, Ryzen 9. It wasn't at the time Ryzen 8 and Ryzen 9. It was
Oh
Fuji
God,
Fighting
yeah,
World
yeah.
Grand Prix, but it was two shows of the New Year's Eve 2017 with finals of Bantamweight Grand Prix. Then I've been back to Japan in 2018 in September. I've been at the stands at Rising 13, that's infamous Typhoon event. And the next day, I had a flight to Europe. So there was a lot of uncertain things at that time. But fortunately, I could see the show. Unfortunately, not the whole show because I remember that you've been talking about it with Ozeki Jim. That they had to reschedule some fights on the card, and after the actual main event, so Tenshin against Kyoji, there were also three fights, including Mikuru Asakura against Karshigada Outback, and I couldn't see this because. Because the trains from Saitama to Tokyo have been operating only until some particular hour. I don't remember which one, but yeah, I had to just go back to Tokyo because I did not want to risk not being able to go back to my hotel because next day I had a flight to Europe as I said.
Why are you killing the lead and you're mentioning every match but the Bob Sapp Osuna Rashi match from that show. You've mentioned Karstopek, Azakura, and Tenshi. Well, that was obviously the real main event.
Oh yeah, definitely.
For how to ask, so that one you were at Tenshin Horiguchi, you said?
Yes, I've been that. I've been there in Saitama. It's kind of I would say funny thing with this event because at during the pre-pandemic era, Rizin was distributing the tickets on StubHub.com. And I was buying the tickets both in 2017 and 2018 on StubHub, and usually the tickets from StubHub were from was the tickets was for foreigners. So it meant that all the ticket buyers from StubHub had the seats next to them.
When I went to the
Um,
I went to the open weight Grand Prix both days, and yeah, I got my tickets from StubHub as well. It was kind of like that was like the unofficial foreigner section because I when I got to the
oh,
area, I was like,
yeah,
oh
yeah, yeah.
yes,
E-
this is the
and
foreigner section.
mhm.
And
and
so
every and each time it was the same because in 2017 at that two shows I was placed among the foreigners too.
yeah,
But about 2018, I was placed next to some Canadian travel. I did something like about 6 or 7 Canadian people, and during the pandemics, uh, I was a guest in Bad Moon Rising's podcast, and
oh
uh,
my god, way back.
I think it was in 2020, and when I entered the room, there was some guy who was next to me in Saitama in 2018
Oh, that's funny.
from Canada.
That's so
And moreover, I've been in 2019 on Bellator Japan and Rising 20. So, greatest of all time event. And my last trip wasn't to Japan, but to Azerbaijan landmark
oh yes,
7 event.
yes. So question: out of all the Ryzen branded events you've been to, which one was your favorite?
Of course, Horizon 20. Because not only because of great fights, because of unforgettable night, New Year's Eve. I think it boosted all the vibe about that event. But also, I have a story about buying the tickets because I went to Japan but I thought that I will have some tickets from the, let's say, unofficial source because I've been working with KOK promotion that is a partner of Rizin. Some Lithuanian promotion, MMA Bushido KOK, it's the same company. But it did not work out. So I went to Japan without any tickets, knowing that New Year's Eve is sold out. And the same day, I met with Bruno Massami, and there was some guy on Twitter named Bisappu, uh, and both helped me a lot with finding information where's some single last tickets, and it was in uh, iTicket, something like this. It's the store near the New Japan Pro Wrestling headquarters, and I
Okay. Oh
went.
wait, so
I went.
you didn't get them at a conveni? You didn't get them at a convenience store?
No, no, no. It was a store with a tickets to the different events, pro wrestling,
Okay.
kickboxing, MMA, and stuff like this. And there was some news on Twitter, I think, that this guy has some single, double header tickets because there was also Bellator Japan 2 days before the New Year's Eve. So I went there. I wasn't sure if I will even have it, but okay, what I have to lose? So I went there, and guy wasn't hurry up. Uh, he opened the shop, I think, 20 minutes after the scheduled time. So really easygoing man.
Mm,
For Japanese, it's not. I don't think it's very popular attitude. But after he opened the store, um, I went there, bought it, and went straight to the Saitama because I was late for a Bellator show. Fortunately, I missed only first three fights, and I was able to watch both famous infamous postlims as much as Fedor against Rampage fight. Yeah, Rampage was in a garbage shape, but I don't think that there will be a chance to watch Fedor and Rampage live
mm.
still.
So funny. I'm looking at the card for Ryzen 20. My God, you saw the last fights for Manel Cape, Hamderley, and Jiri, all and Patchy Mix, also a Ryzen vet, all for on Ryzen. Huh. All on the same card, by the way, all on the same card, and yeah, what? That's a feat, man. That you got to see them all on their last Ryzen shows before they went off to well, I guess three of the four had UFC dreams. So
Oh yes,
one had
infamous
well,
UFC
the other, someone else
dreams.
had one dreams, and I don't even know if she's fought to this day. Just kidding.
Oh yeah, I remember the contract issues of Ham because she was managed by Road, and
Mm,
Road basically was paying her purse, not Rising, and Road couldn't offer her much bigger money, so she chose the one's offer. Um, and unfortunately, she's in that damn one championship until today.
and forever and ever. Um.
Yeah.
So
But
Daniel, I know that you had
okay.
you. Hmm? No, no, go ahead, go ahead.
Uh, okay, yeah, yeah. You said about some unforgettable moments, but in 2017, for example, I saw the debut of Kaya Sakura in Rising because it was in pre-New Year or at pre-New Year's Eve show at Rising 8. So yeah, some I think big moments for the company.
Mm-hmm. I know you made a list. Do you have any other moments that were your favorite or most memorable? I'll say.
I would say there's a lot of moments on my list, but I can just pick some random positions. Uh, of course, it's Bellator Japan postlims that wasn't available to watch in a normal way uh, abroad, not in Japan. I have some funny thing because from 2018, they have announced in 2018 they have announced that they will be numbering events instead of that long names of events, and they made a presser, and then they have announced that the first show of 2018 will be Rizin 11, but then something happened, and they said, "Oh, sorry, we are misnumbered the events, and it won't be Rizin 11, but Rizin 10." So a bit mistake, uh, because I think they don't count the 2015 events to the official numbered events list, because then in 2016 we had Horizon 1, the last one event with blue gloves, by the way. So yeah, they made a mistake, and after the presser they had to fix the that blooper, I would say.
Mm. Furhata has a question for you. What made you stay in Japan from 2018 to 2019?
Can you repeat?
I don't think did you just sorry, from 20 did you stay in Japan 20 from 2018 2019, or did you just visit it a lot?
uh, what do you mean?
I think for so because you said you saw so many shows in Japan, so many Ryzen shows. I think I don't know. I think it may have been misconstrued that you weren't living in Japan. You were just like traveling to Japan, right?
Oh, no, just a traveler, just a tourist.
Oh, okay, okay. Inboundo is the word now that they call tourists in Japan.
Oh,
Uh,
okay, okay.
uh,
But
Always starts says the
mhm.
Ryzen versus Bellator series is a really memorable moment in time for Ryzen. Uh, I think so. It was definitely when that press conference, I'll never forget the disparate views that that Ryzen got on their channel versus like Bellator, which was like nothing. They got like 300 views or 400 views or something. The Ryzen one got like 6,000, 600, like they got like triple six figures with people watching live.
I have it on my list too. Uh, I think it was the time where the fir- I think it was the first time since Chuck Little's appearance in a Pride Grand Prix when some American promotion said, "Okay, we will send to Japan our best guys, and let's see what happen. What will happen?"
Hmm. So actually, I want to bring that up as well. Um, when it comes to when Ryzen first started to now, what do you think about? I feel like when it first started, it felt like it was a promotion that was kind of like, oh, we're gonna kind of be the neutral territory where fighters from fighter organization A can come fighter in organization B. No politics, no nothing. And then but then sometime around 2019, 20, I'll say, they started becoming kind of its more it started carving out its own identity as a promotion itself. Um, I don't did you have do you have a preference for like a specific era of Ryzen, or do you have a favorite era of Ryzen? I guess is what I'm trying to ask.
Mm, I would say 2019, the single year. Uh, I think that now is a great time because we are after the pandemics and all that shit that happened, and all that obstacles, we can comfortable make a comfortable trip to Japan, that and we know that it was closed for a long time. We can watch the international fighters. Of course, it has changed about some paperwork and visa. The working visas for them since the COVID. So as much I know, it's a bit more difficult for our promoters to make some paperwork, but in general, I think we are in a great place, and right now is a great era because this year we had some dome show, we had Saitama Arena 40K show, and we will have another one on New Year's Eve.
Uh, so as somebody who is in Poland, uh, I know you are familiar with a lot of, and also just Europe in general, you're familiar with a lot of promotions, but particularly KSW. What do you think about the talent that Rizin has, I'll say, borrowed from KSW? Uh, do you think it's been the best talent
I
overall?
don't think it wasn't the best talent because Martin Lewandowski been saying that it's not profitable for them to send the champions. Okay, they have sent Goran Relic, who was I believe he was a former light heavyweight champ. But after the fights in Japan, he did not appear in KSW again. The same with Shimon Bayor. After some long break, Shimon Bayor appeared again in KSW. Um, but in general, the most talented fighter that KSW sent, not a big pool because we had Relic, we had Bayor, and we had Marek Samociuk. And I don't
Mm,
think that's anyone more from KSW. Przemysław Kowalczyk wasn't a KSW fighter when he joined Rising. So I think from
yeah.
that,
Where did that? So by the
that
way, where did that whole thing come about that he was supposed to fight in KSW after Ryzen? Did you remember hearing about that? Because I thought I heard that as well.
he's recovering from some injury right
Oh,
now.
okay.
So he can't compete at the moment, but I believe that we may see him back in action in next year. I hope so because
Okay.
I think he is a big talent, no doubt. But that from that three fighters, I think that Shimon Bayer had most convincing performance. I know that there were different times that Grand Prix fights were two rounders, but actually I liked it more than Marek Samociuk's
Yeah.
fight. Definitely.
So I have a question also. Um, he wasn't borrowed, but he left KSW. Kleber. What was it like when Kleber left KSW? Because he was he featherweight champion? I believe.
Yeah.
At
Yes.
the time, or was he? Yeah. What happened when, like when he left? Was there a big hoopla by KSW? Did it catch? I don't know if you know, but did it catch him off guard, or were like, what did that do when? What happened? What was the fallout from when he left to go to Ryzen?
A lot of people still misses him in KSW, but at the time, uh, the CEOs, the owners said that he isn't he isn't he has to go from Japan, so it's more expensive. He doesn't speaks English, so they had to take the interpreter all the times. So they did not prolong the contract. uh, but as I said before, a lot of KSW fans misses him today. If it was better for the Rising, definitely yes. But we have to keep in mind that he had to fought elsewhere a couple of times before he joined Rising.
Mm. We have a question from Kome Day. I'll get to your question for Hato also, but I want to get to Kome Day. Did Kleber not have the belt anymore, or was he kind of forced back to Japan due to COVID? Well,
I don't
because I remember,
remember the
so Kleber was introduced at the 2019, the last show before COVID happened, that Hamamatsu show, I believe it was.
Yeah, Rising 21 with Matt Striker
So
as a commentator. Yeah.
yeah, I don't. COVID hadn't happened. Japan was not officially closed yet because I think they closed in March, but it was February, so that was the last non-COVID show. Um, Now, did he not have the belt anymore at the time? I thought he was champion. I thought that was
You,
all. I thought he was champion.
I'm right now. I'm checking it, and he had his last fight in December 2018 with Mateusz Gamrot, and then he left KSW, and in 2019 he had only one fight. At one Japan Series event, he submit Wiki Akio Nishiura. So for the whole 2019, I think he had some problems with sign with some bigger promotion. I think his manager looked for some occasion to sign with someone. For some reason, Rizin wasn't interested at the time, but I'm not sure what was the reason that they struggled with signing with some bigger promotion after the KSW.
For Hata Hassan, has a question for you, Daniel. From where did you visit Japan from? Flight by mileage. I guess you flew from Poland, Krakow. I don't know.
Yes. But each time I had a transfer, and all the time in the different places. Because for the first time in 2017, I went from Poland to Finland, so very short flight, and then from Finland to the Narita, so very long flight. It was tsukaremashita desu.
Uh,
Very tiring thing. And the next trip was through the Germany, but I had a double transfer in Munich and then in Frankfurt, and then to Japan to Narita. And my last flight was had the best connection with a transfer too, yes. But I went from Warsaw to Beijing, and from Beijing to Narita.
why?
So
Why do you keep going to Narita, man? Narita is the worst airport. I can't. I made the mistake of going there for the first time ever, and when I went to Japan, I was like, oh god, I'm never going to Narita ever again. Fuck that. I'm not.
oh,
I hate that
I,
one
I
hour
can
train ride.
I can feel you what you are. I can get what you are talking about. Uh, but the Skyliner is kind of convenient way of transport. But yeah, if I could have a choice, I would go to Haneda, because Haneda
Yes.
is placed in the city
Oh yes.
next to the Ota neighborhood.
Mm.
I had my last base, my accommodation in Ota in 2019. So
Mm.
I have a really good memories from that neighborhood. I remember that my hotel was situated very near to the Kamata station, so it was a train station. At the time, I had a Japan Rail Pass, so I did not have any problems with traveling in Tokyo.
Yes. For Hatsan. Daniel is from Porando,
Urando,
Porando,
Urando Jindes.
Poranjin. Um,
But there are direct flights from Warsaw to Tokyo, but they are much more expensive.
Listen, man, I'll pay the extra $300 to just get me to my place. I don't without having to get up. That's how I operate, man. I can't do direct. I can't do connecting flights. I'm just too
Oh,
lazy.
yeah. But about the Beijing connection, it's the long flight, but not too long, and then some shorter flight. So I think from all the three trips to Japan, the third one was the most convenient.
Hmm. Yes, and for Hatsan, March 2020 is when it started. Because I remember they had the K1 show like the
One
exact
show,
same
yeah.
week, the infamous K1 World Max show, where it was like, oh, we're gonna have it the week of, and there was nothing running that day. I'll never forget. And then I don't know, I don't know if you sent me it or somebody sent me the entire show. It was like 10 gigabytes of 10. It was like a 10
Yeah.
gigabyte like file that I got. Oh man. Oh
Yes.
those days.
Those the weird times. But yeah, I remember that was the 8-man 70-kilo tournament that Minoru Kimura won by knocking out all his three opponents.
So, Falling Stars, another question. What do you think was the most pivotal moment for Ryzen? He thinks it was Tension versus Takaru in terms of ticket sales and pay-per-view sales. Bar got big profits to use for Ryzen. Yeah, what do you think was pivotal moment for Ryzen? Daniel.
The pivotal moment of Rising. I
Like
don't think
what was like yeah. So, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
uh, maybe maybe that's the good point about the tension against Takara, because it wasn't a Rising event. At least Rising fighters weren't
Yeah,
involved,
I
other
also
than
I
tension.
still have a theory that that show, if it wasn't for COVID, I still am convinced that that show would never would have happened. I don't think they would have ever done that show if it wasn't for COVID because all the promotions were struggling to some degree. So it was kind of like, oh, if we're all struggling, might as well just work together. Pro wrestling promotions do the same thing as well when they're always struggling. They'll wind up uh working together doing those like joint or triple joint shows. Sorry, but go ahead. I just want to make that
Yeah,
point. Go
yeah,
ahead.
but I think that that's a great point, because if K1 in 2021-22 would do well, uh, maybe they wouldn't do the show with Rise and Rising, because we can also remember that when Tenshin was calling out Takeru, the K1 wanted to sue Tenshin
Hmm.
just for
Yeah.
calling their name on the
Thank you.
on the ring side.
I want to ask. I'm sorry, Daniel. Just hold your thought.
Yeah, okay.
For
Go ahead.
Hassan, if you remember, do you remember when K1 threatened to sue Rise and Tension? Did they actually try to bring it to court, or was it like more like assist? Do you happen to remember that at all for Hassan? Go ahead, Daniel. Go ahead with your statement. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what that I wanted to say.
Okay, yeah. My pivotal moment for Ryzen. Jeez. Man, pivotal moment for Ryzen. Oh man, I could say when they actually lost Fuji TV, that could have been a pivotal moment because that's when they had to kind of just change their entire business model. And they had to think about how to get a new audience. Um, you could also say that Floyd coming in and fighting tension was a incredibly pivotal moment as well. Whether you liked it or not, listen, we now have it's now a whole subgenre of boxing now is just Floyd doing exhibition fights and other people doing exhibition fights. And that was really the first one. That would I Yeah, that was the first one. Um if you want to say like internationally, it might have been that because I that was the first time I ever remember people who were never who were boxing fans, hated MMA, but they were like they want to see Floyd in this thing. In terms of Japan, oh boy, I'm trying to think like what would be their could have been them losing Fuji TV, but like what would their pivotal moment be? Hmm. That's a tough one. That's a tough
I
one.
think that the TV deal loss could be that pivotal moment, because as I said before, they had to figure out how to make money on in a different way other than Fuji TV, other than through Fuji TV.
Yeah, man. I mean, also just Furuhata-san responded. I remember K1 tried to sue Tension because Tension's side mentioned Takaru escaped from Tension everywhere that included ticket sales and reputation. That is 2018. Okay. Did they was it the threat of a lawsuit or did they just send like a letter, like a cease and desist or something like that? Um
I think that there was just a thread, but I'm not
okay.
sure.
Um yeah, it's I think there's a lot. I mean, honestly, as well, I think I think it depends. Sorry to get to your question. I think depending on what you focus on. Ah, that is a civil court matter. Oh, okay. So it is kind of official court matter. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, look at
that's
Kobe
tough.
Days. Kobe Day says when Kai KO'd Horiguchi, it also gave legitimacy to Mikuru. Wait, did you mean Kai or did you mean Mikuru? Wait, hold on. Did you mean Rising when Kai KO'd Horiguchi? You meant oh, Furatasan says it's a civil court matter, not criminal. Okay. Okay, I see. Okay. Um yeah, yeah, when it comes to pivotal moment Ryzen, I think depending on like what you look at or what's I think you could categorize different moments. I mean, like hell, the official Bellator partnership or Bellator versus Ryzen show, you could definitely say was pivotal. I would even say the first Super Ryzen show as well could be pivotal as well. You could even just say, hey, Otoko Matsuri was a pivotal thing as well. So yeah, it depends. I think really what you look at and what's your own perspective on what pivotal is. That's a shitty way to answer. I don't know. That's the best way I could say. I listen. To me, the pivotal moment was when I saw Gabby Garcia versus Shinobu Kandori on the Ryzen Open Weight Grand Prix show. Listen, that told me to me that was the day I was like, this is okay. This is the shit. I love this shit. So
I
that's
re
my personal pivotal moment.
I regret that the fight against Shinobu Kandori or Yumiko Hotta.
Hmm.
I don't remember
Oh yeah,
who.
Yumiko Hotta. Excuse me, I forgot. Kandori got yeah.
And Gabi had to fight against Shinobu Kandori on at Ryzen 8 show, so it was pre-New Year's Eve event when I was there.
Oh okay.
But Gabi did not make weight, and then she had to publicly apologize on the ring.
Yes. Furhaftasan says the civil court civil court A side K1 sued against the father of Tension and Rising Company. Okay, gotcha. So actually, I want to ask you. So since you and I have seen Ryzen kind of in their, I would like to say their Wild West phase, where it was just kind of like I don't want to say throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks, but um, what do you think? Do you kind of miss what Ryzen was kind of doing when they're like we saw Bob Sapp, Osunarashi. I saw you saw that. I saw Garcia versus Hota. I was there for the open weight Grand Prix. You were there for the lightweight Grand Prix. Do you think that they you think they did something kind of go a little bit do you kind of miss that era of Ryzen where it just seemed like they had all these wild ideas and all these wild booking ideas as well?
We still have it at some point because
Oh,
we
but
had
a lot less freak show fights though. A lot less though.
we still had Cozy against Floyd's bodyguard. We had Cozy against Sina Karimian.
Mm.
We had Shibatar against some opponents like Yuta Kubo. I think
Mm.
he fought once or twice Shibatar. I
He fought
don't
twice.
remember
He fought twice. Kuroya,
against
not
Hiroya and Kubo. Yeah,
yeah, not Billy Bigelow Hiroya, but Tiger's
yeah.
brother Hiroya. Um.
Uh,
So we have a.
so.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, and we'll get to the
Yeah,
question.
but we have some continuation of the ideas from the pre-COVID era. Not everyone, not mm, in the same shape uh, as it been at sorry as it been taking place in 2018 and 19, but we could see some continuation, as I said.
So we have a question from Haitian. What did you think about the heavyweight Grand Prix from your point of view? I'm assuming he means the one that just happened. It was definitely shopai, as, the Japanese would say. Well, I was not even the low man on it. I didn't egregiously hate it, but I think I came to hate it more. I started to hate it more the more Jay Wolf praised it. So as his praise went up, my hatred of it went up. I listen. I've seen. I still think their worst Grand Prix, their worst tournament was that kickboxing one.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely. It,
yeah,
it, it was the most absurd tournament. It was a one night tournament, four men, one night GP, with some no contests
yeah.
and Genji Umeno doing or Kozi doing multiple headbutts. Oh, it was a horrible shit show. And I think, yeah, definitely the worst tournament in the history. But thinking about the Grand Prix, so the multiple stage tournament, I think this was the worst.
Mm.
But
I don't know. I don't know. I think the women's second women's Grand Prix was pretty bad. I really did not like that.
at least the final phases were decent. But
Mm.
um, the next one, when we are talking about the bad Grand Prix, is the Japanese bantamweight tournament.
I don't think that was a bad. I don't think that was. I mean, the talent they got for that was not high level, but it had a nice little ending to it. I could kind
Oh
of.
yeah.
I'm happy with Okubo kind of getting his flowers. Uh, with that, especially because he was listen, Ryzen. Okay, Rizin at one point, I don't know if they do that anymore, but they were one of those promotions that's like, okay, this is the final we have in mind. So we're gonna book it around so that this final can happen. And Okikubo basically just kind of said, nah, man, I'm gonna ruin your night. So yeah, surprisingly,
Yeah.
but beat Naoki, who then was presumably gonna face Kai in the final. So yeah, no, I'm happy that at least the matches were not that good overall, but I like the final actually.
I liked also the other thing about the Grand Prix. You can guess.
From this one? Or wait,
Yeah,
from the bandweight one.
for the bantamweight.
Hmm.
The gloves,
Oh,
the red
which one?
rising gloves.
Oh, okay, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, the the
By the way,
third the third
that's not
the third
Boy's
color of
bodyguard.
rising gloves.
Give him respect. That's Jizzy's name. Jizzy is the name, not
Oh
Floyd's
yeah,
body.
Jeezy, yes, definitely. Uh, I'm trying to remind the real name of Jeezy, but I can't remember. I can't remember. I can say it right now. Uh, but I know that Abdelrahman Shalan was Osuna Arashi.
So, Falling Star says the reason I said Tetra vs. Talk is because that fight made Japanese comfortably buy pay per view. Without Ryzen being the intermediary between Ryzen and K1, then who knows where Ryzen would be now? Well, that's a good point. But that wasn't the first
Yeah,
one they did on pay. Was that the first one they did on pay per view though? I don't think so. Was it? I thought they were still doing a
uh,
B. I thought they were doing a Bima even on when they had Fuji. Unless I'm entirely mistaking. My brain is like I'm having a Mandela effect moment.
but you are talking about the match 22.
Yeah, he's talking about the match 22. That's
It was Abema pay-per-view.
okay. Yes, but he's saying that because it showed that the fight could be uh you can sell a pay per view in Japan is what I think is what he's saying.
Oh, okay. But I think that it was the show that convinced Japanese people that you can buy pay-per-view. It pushed them towards the culture of buying pay-per-view. It
Mm,
was not a common thing in Japan before.
okay. And Kobe Day disagrees with me. At least the second women's GP had promotional mainstays. Seika is also relevant to this day. Well, I don't know personally she's relevant to me, but I guess technically she is relevant. to Ryzen. So I want to get some favorite stuff from you, uh, Daniel. So you have any favorite fights, KOs,
Okay,
anything like that?
I will start just by reading the stuff from each category, and you will be stopping if something will catch your attention. Okay,
Okay.
because there's a lot of stuff. You have to trust me. So I can start from which category?
Oh,
uh,
you pick whatever. You pick whatever.
okay, the biggest one, I think, uh, next to the moments, but the chaos, because I think that on the slideshow you had some top 10 chaos. Can am I right?
Oh yeah, that was King Silo's stuff. I'll get
Okay.
that back up for. I'll get that back up
Okay.
in a second.
It's sorted by the year. So I'm starting from the King Mo against Jiří Procházka. I think it was the final of 2015 Grand Prix. The next, I have Andy Sauer against Yuichiro Nagashima because it was. I was impressed about the Sauer's body hooks that knocked out Nagashima. Then some Polish accent. Rena against Hanna Guivan. Rena knocked out Hanna by a body kick. Next, Yusuke Yachi against Darren Cruikshank, the highlight reel knockout of Yachi that I could see, about hundreds of times on some highlights to a counter hook KO. Next, Shintaro Yoshiwatari against Kevin Petch. I have seen it live. It was Ryzen 8 show, pre-New Year's Eve show. It was a quarter-final of the Grand Prix. It was quarter-final, from what I remember. Tenshin against Yuta Hamamoto. It was the New Year's Eve 2017. It was the semi-final of the Rising Kickboxing tournament. It was flying knee, from what I remember. Daron Cruikshank against Koshi Matsumoto, Rising 10. It was the high kick. Mikuro Asakura against Hatsu Hiyoki. In my opinion, that period of Mikuru's career was like a veteran slayer because he knocked out Hiyoki and then he knocked out Lion Takeshi and then he knocked out former WEC fighter. I don't remember. I can't remember the guy's name, but Japanese, the former Mizugaki. He knocked
Oh
out
yes, Mizugaki.
Mizugaki.
Yes, yes. Yes.
Yeah. Then we have Darren Cruikshank against Diego Brandao. It was Ryzen 13 flying knee. It was on that part after the Tenshin Kyoji, so I couldn't see it live. The thing that I have seen live, Haruochi against Mitsuhisa Sunabe, the soccer kick KO. Mikuro Asakura against Takeshi Inoue. It was Yarenoka.
My
And
God, I didn't realize. No, sorry to interrupt, but my God,
oh
like
yeah,
my brain is like, wow, he actually did fight like all the veterans, like in
yeah.
his beginning rise of tenure. Like
He
I
had
don't,
he had some
it's
he
like
had
my
some
brain.
run.
Yeah, my brain remembers like um the Mexican guy that he Salas and Dopbeck, but I forgot like how many veterans he faced.
Yeah, the Dalbeck wasn't an established name in 2018 yet. We did not know what what he will be capable of in 2025. And Mikuru knocked out Inoue by a flying knee.
Mm.
My very favorite TKO by ground and pound, and you will never guess which one. It's I against Nanaka Kawamura. I love the beating the shit out those those, idol fighter by I. And yeah, it was one of my favorite ground beating of all time. Next, I have a Kaya Sakura against Ulka Sasaki, Rizin 19, the infamous 1.5 hour of intermissions. But Kai broke the chin of Ulka, as you can remember, and that X-ray of Ulka's chin was on the highlights of Rizin. Next, I have something that I saw live. Yachi against Hiroto Uesako, Bellator Japan post limbs and the soccer kick that finished the fight. Patrick Pitbull against Luis Gustavo, the semi-final of lightweight tournament, also ended by a soccer kick. Also seen it live. Jiří Procházka against CB Dollaway. I remember the impact that Dollaway fallen on the floor. It was really impressive, and it was actually the last fight of Procházka in Rizin. Also, the interesting fact. Next, we are entering into the COVID era. Rizin 26, Kazuma Kuramoto knocked out Taiyo Nakahara by soccer kicks. Then we have Tsuyashi Sudario against Kazushi Miyamoto, infamous pro wrestler, at Rizin 27. It was 8-second KO. Then Yutaro Muramoto against Seigo Yamamoto, that half Japanese, half Korean taekwondo guy. It was a KO. Like, it was a counter to a flying knee. Rizin 27. Rizin 32, one of my all-timers in terms of, in general, the shows. It was the first Okinawa show. Yuichi Miyagi against Tomohiro Adaniya, the KO by a knee in a clinch. Then Yuki Kazahara against Motoki. It was a kickboxing fight with a totally shitty show, but it was one of the bright points of that night. It was in Osaka. It was a flying KO on the corner. Then we have Hiroaki Suzuki against Taisei Nishitani. It was first Sapporo show, 43. It was also the counterpunch to a flying knee. Minoru Kimura versus Daryl Lokoku, also Rizin 43, and Lokoku was called out. It was also a kickboxing fight. Hiroki Suzuki against Genji Umeno. Genji Umeno got knocked out by a flying knee, and it was also a kickboxing fight, also Sapporo show. Another, and the last one, Sapporo knockout, Suguru Ni against Tateo Ida, so out cold KO plus soccer kick. So brutal stuff. Super Rizin 2, Chihiro Suzuki against Patricio Pitbull, KO first round. It's like more. I put it because of the upset and the high profile fight. Next, we have Landmark 6, Yusako Inoue against Kohei Tokashi. It was like a sequence like from the Tekken or other video game. It was the flying knee plus the combo of punches. Chihiro Suzuki against Vugar Karamov, knocked out first round in Azerbaijan by up kick. It's very unusual stuff. Plus high profile fight because it was the very first title fight in the cage. Suguruni against Satoshi Dominator Yamasu. Classic trademark knees punch. KO by a single punch. Then Shinobu Ota against Ryusei Ashizawa, KO by ground and pound. Karshiga Outback against Tatsuya Seki, body punch KO. Yaman against Hiroaki Suzuki, a punch during the exchange. Dane Sabatello against Shinobu Ota, put it because it's self KO by Ota after the slam. And the very last one, Ilhom Nazimov against Suguruni from this year, front kick KO right to the chin.
So we got a lot of comments. I'm gonna let's see. Komide says it was Mizugaki versus Minel Cape. So
Oh, okay. Messed up
yeah.
something.
Um. And Furuha says that Mizugaki was a big Japanese big name of WEC. And when he was living in the United States, Mizugaki's name and face was everywhere in Vegas. Oh, and also Furuha says, Daniel, you know a lot. You know a lot about JMMA. Thank you for loving JMMA.
Thank you very
Uh,
much.
so Komide clarified. Falling Star just saying it was a historical pay per view, but Falling Star has a great question. What was the biggest drop? What was the biggest dropping the ball from Rizin? He says women division upper weight classes for him. He hoped that after Ren versus Mikuru rematch would officially start more investment in these things. What do you think was the biggest ball drop that Rizin dropped the ball on, in your
I can
opinion?
agree with Atomweight division because I think
But
that easily they could have the best league in the world, that it would be well respected all around the world. Moreover, in Poland we have big atomweight talent Magdalena Czaban, so I'm really looking forward to see her in Japan. The funny thing that I will be doing the commentary next Saturday of her next fight. I think she's right now she's contracted with Invicta, but I think that had. She has a permission, or right now Invicta doesn't make any moves, any events right now.
so I
So
don't.
this
Mhm.
is my first thing that came to mind. The other one uh, maybe does not establishing the male strawweight division.
The what? Sorry.
Not establishing the men's strawweight division, the male
Oh, okay,
strawweight
okay,
division.
gotcha.
But
Um,
yeah, it's half joke because they still can do it.
so I would agree with Adam Wade, but I don't think that's so much Risen's fault at this point. I think that the problem with the talented. So obviously, Risen's goal is to showcase Japanese mixed martial arts. Right now, other than Sekizawa, Oshima, Reina, maybe if she's still fighting. I always have to say if she's still fighting. There's Japanese women's atom weight is like, if you ever watched Deep Jewels, man, a lot of these women are fucking awful. They're really like not good. And like I think even the worst, I think a top 20 atom weight probably beats about 90% of the Japanese women. See, this isn't we don't have the era anymore of Kana, Miyu. Regardless of what you want to say about Miyu, she was a name at least. Um and just a bunch of other talented women. It's the other thing also is that, so you do have to contend that there are atom weights that will gladly go up and leave to go to UFC. They will go up to straw weight or whatever to go to UFC. And it's like you're fighting that. You're also fighting one. Well, I don't even know if one's doing atom weight fights anymore. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. But I kind of get why it's kind of like why Ryzen's kind of fallen. Or why Ryzen has to really focus on that. I don't think that's really their fault though. I feel like it's just kind of like the atmosphere of what happened. It just happened um out of their control. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on that, Daniel?
So I know that they
I don't think I don't think Ryzen
the
deliberately decided to say one day, you know what, we're not going to focus on atom weight anymore. I think it's a talent pool, and just I think it just it just kind of happened.
but right, yeah, of course, that something that you mentioned before, and Charlie with sure was repeated it multiple times, that women's MMA in Japan, the level of it, it's can be very high,
Mhm,
but can be at the same time very low. There's almost nothing in the middle of the road.
mhm, yeah. Um, Cole Mayday says biggest ball drops or the tension matchmaking. I will say, well, listen, yes, but then again, they had him face Mayweather, and that kind of worked. That kind of was like a reversal of fortune, where it kind of worked out in its own way. Him facing off against Mayweather.
I would
So
say in 2019, the Rizin gave him a better opponents than Rice. For
yeah.
example, you can check it, but yeah, in 2019 was that year that he had some good opposition.
Also, you gotta remember that tension is like so way above the level of everybody else that it's kind of like Shaduliev at this point, where like he's just gonna make everybody look like a jobber next to when he fights them. So it's kind of like other than Rodtang, other than Rodtang and Takaru, like at the time, like there was nobody else who could hang with him. As for what I think was the biggest ball drop, huh? Biggest ball drop. Oh, that's a tough one. I don't think it's fair to say the heavyweight thing is because that wasn't really their fault that these guys just kind of were not good and just kind of were terrible. I'm trying to think of like something that Ryzen has. Oh man, like I won't. Like in terms of dropping the ball, I'm not like the flyweight Grand Prix alternate voting thing was like I thought was just so fucking dumb. Like I don't the fact like the fact that they were voting somebody out who won and then they have to fight to be the alternate. I thought that was a supremely dumb choice, a dumb action. Like, how do you like?
You know,
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Daniel.
Uh, I would say they have dropped the ball, maybe not directly because of this, but because of not doing the 16-man Grand Prix, because the talent pool is enough, both in Japan and worldwide. You have, you have, you can, you have a choice from a lot of talents all around the world, even in flyweight. And instead of this, they have announced 8 men, and then they have tried that voting thing by making 10 men Grand Prix. Of course, I think also that heavyweight Grand Prix this year's was very unnecessary. I think that the Japanese heavyweights should be treated like in 2018, 2008. Deep made that famous megaton tournament with overalls Ariyama.
Yeah.
It should have this kind of position and this kind of treating instead of making with those pumped light heavyweights or middleweights without trying to compare them with the worldwide talent,
Oh,
which is not very good.
okay. So I want to talk about dropping the ball of Ryzen. Um, I think when they did Mikuru versus Floyd, because Mikuru got injured in that match, and we lost maybe like
um,
1 or 2 years of him. And I mean, he's recovered since, but we obviously lost out on the Ren match. He then went on that losing streak as well. So I think luckily it kind of worked out in a way, but I think I think the Floyd match was so unnecessary in my personal opinion. Plus, not to mention as well, Floyd didn't even know who he was facing. He didn't even know the guy's name. Um, dropping the one of those things, dropping the ball. Uh,
Do you think that they could do something more in terms of the guys who went to the UFC?
oh, so what do you mean? People stop guys from going to UFC?
Yes, to do something more to convince them to stay.
I don't
We
know.
don't know, the things on the backstage. We don't know the arguments of both sides, but just an impression.
Well, I guess the most is just offer them more money. That's like the most you can do, man. But like even Shuharata said on Let's Talk JMA that Naoki would happily take a pay cut to go to UFC, and he trust me, he's not the only one, man. There's there are some guys that like won't like Saladin. He won't do that. Um, Robert Saldick might at this point. He might do that. But yeah, I'm a lot of that's one thing. I don't think that they other than offering more money, I don't know what else Rising could possibly do to stop people from having UFC dreams. As long as Kai is in UFC and fighting, that's going to even make it harder now because now you kind of have like a whole new generation of fighters who kind of got into MMA because of Kai breaking down Mikaru, all that stuff, and now they see Kai's in UFC. Granted, he's not been successful, but he's in UFC nonetheless. So it's now like a perception is reality thing. We're like, okay, Kai left to go to UFC because that is presumed the number one promotion in the world. I want to achieve the same thing as well. Contrary to what some people believe, him winning the UFC title will not stop Japanese people from coming to UFC. In fact, it might actually, kind of increase it more. When Khabib became lightweight champion, you know, I didn't stop. Listen, it didn't stop Dagestanis from coming to a UFC. I can tell you that right now. So I think
It is what it is.
yeah, I think I think other than offering more money, I really don't know what else. The other thing also is that and Rise is gonna have to. This will be like for at least like the next maybe 10 years as well. You're gonna have you're gonna have like a generation of fighters who never watched Japanese MMA. Like the only MMA they have watched will have been UFC, maybe Bellator, maybe WSOF. But so, and the problem is that since that's the only one that you've grown up with, that's the only thing that they're used to. That's the only thing that they're familiar with. So even, yeah, like I think that's why Ryzen was able to get a lot of fighters originally from overseas, a lot of American fighters. They were familiar with Pride. It was kind of like a bucket list thing to fight in Japan. But I feel like a lot of future fighters are not going to give a shit about that. It's going to be just fighting UFC Apex shows. That'll be their
but
dream. Apex
but
dreams.
from, but on the other hand, I don't think it's possible if you are still doing the business and you are a big number one in your country, just to avoid the fighters' attention, even as a fans to watch your shows. You know what I'm
Mm.
talking about. I don't think that it's even possible to some young fighters to imagine some young fighters that they are not watching the Rizin. The same as in Poland. Everyone who trains also watching the KSW. Despite the fact that recently KSW lost their two champs, Wikłacz and Ruchała. But still, the KSW is very number one in Poland. Very number one. I'm underlining it. And there is no possibility in the next years that there will be some guys who won't watch even a single KSW show.
Mm. I think that might be the biggest. Now I think about it, is maybe the biggest ball drop is letting a lot of these guys go too easily, guys and girls, because I count Lei Zhang in that category as well. So, yeah.
Not
Let's
very
see.
known fact.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Other ball. Oh. If you want to talk about in terms of fighters, I just remember this. In terms of ball drops, it's gotta be Yusuke Yachi. Like, I think in terms of what Ryzen was trying to get to make him be versus what he wound up being was definitely not. It kind of I would say maybe. Would you to maybe Sage Northcutt like he was to UFC? because UFC was going all in on Sage Northcutt at one point, and then I think Rizin was trying to do the same, but now he's second or third fight after the opening ceremony.
Actually, Yachi is one of the most important fighters in Rising roster, in Rising history, because some of you may not know this fact, but the head of Japanese Yogibo was a big fan of Yachi. And because of Yusuke Yachi's fight, Yogibo started to sponsor Rising during the COVID times, during the first COVID time in 2020, what helped them to survive also.
But like in terms of what I think he was definitely promoted to be the next Kid Yamamoto. That was
Definitely. The promotional machine was a bit different than his real skills.
Mm-hmm.
He was too heavily promoted when we compare what he was able to do.
Yeah. Also, I know an underrated fight a lot of people don't talk about. We'll get into your favorite fights, Daniel. I'm assuming you have a list of that as well, right? Favorite fights. Yeah, I think. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say one of the most important fights. I think honestly, doesn't get talked about often is Mikuru versus Yachi. I think that's one of the most under the radar important fights that Rizin had. Really, I think that cemented Mikuru as it's. I don't know. I think that made me look at Mikuru as a serious MMA fighter after he started beating up the old guys.
Oh yes. And there's a times when Mikuru was fighting in lightweight.
Yes.
I don't
Yeah, I forgot
remember.
about that. Yes, that too as well. Yeah.
I don't remember when when was the last time when he fought in the 71 kilo limit. I don't remember, to be honest.
I think wasn't it Road? Didn't he fight that in Road? I believe maybe that one Road fight he had.
Oh, I don't
I thought
remember really.
that's what I thought. That's why I thought he lost it because he went up a weight class. That's what was my original thought. Anyway, but Daniel, let's get into some of your favorite fights in Rizin.
Favorite fights. Okay,
Yeah.
it's not very long, unfortunately. Not that long as long as KO's list, but okay. The same chronologic way. Jiří Procházka against Vadim Nemkov. It was a semi-final of Grand Prix 2015. The first clash of Kaya Sakura and Manel Cup, Rising 10. I have seen it live. The first clash of Taiga and Kento Haraguchi. I have to remind that Haraguchi won the Rise 4-man qualifier Grand Prix to the Rising, and that was the reason why he even stepped into the ring of Rising. Right now, Haraguchi is a top 65 kilo fighter in kickboxing.
When he's not facing Chad Collins.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
It is what it is.
Yes.
Talisson Gomez Ferreira against Taiga, Rising 15. It also it was a kickboxing fight too. Really good stuff.
The Taiga losing arc. The Taiga losing arc is still one of my favorite eras of Rizin because it was just like, how is this guy gonna lose again?
But I'm impressed how he was able to rebound and even achieve some title in Rise. Yeah. It's really recent time before he made the transition to MMA.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah, 100%, credit to Taiga.
Okay, next I have Ryzen 18, Victor Henry against Trent Gertham.
Mm-hmm.
It's really too bad about the Henry because he went to the UFC when he couldn't participate in Japan during the COVID era. So I'm really curious, what would Henry show if he could still compete in Japan?
Mm.
Uh, Hiromasa Ogikubo against Taiju Shiratori. Sorry, oh, it's not Taiju Shiratori. My mistake. It was Shintaro Ishiwatari, Rising 20.
Okay.
Great fight, great fight. One of the all timers of Rising, of course, seen it live. Tofik Musayev against Patrick Pitbull, the lightweight tournament final. Seo Hiham against Ayaka Hamasaki, Rising 22. And I think that fight was the greatest women's fight in Rising. I think it one of the greatest fights in general in female MMA. Um, Too bad that it took place less than 1 month before Weili Zhangqiu and Jędrzejczyk, that insane war, because nobody gave a shit about this fight. Next, something.
But
Mm,
how long was it before Cara Esparza versus Rose Namajunas?
oh, I don't remember even this fight.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah. But I got what you wanted to do.
Yes.
Um, right now I have something from 2018. Gomi against Gillard. As much it was goddamn slop, but it was entertaining as hell.
Mm.
And I remember that Gomi was supposed to fight against Andy Sauer, but Andy Sauer signed with one, and then they have to find the replacement. It was, and I think it was kind of late replacement, and they have found a Gillard.
What an
Next, I
error!
have Koji.
What an error that Melvin Gillard was thought of as a perfect late replacement for Andy Sauer.
Oh, yeah. 2018, yeah, Rising 11.
Even then, it's just like the one guy who made like who missed weight for like 6 of his consecutive fights and like lost was like 8 fight losing streak. I was like, oh yeah, that's the guy we should replace it with Andy Sauer. You're gonna get 2 more opposite fighters.
But the fight was super entertaining.
Oh yeah,
The telegraphed overhands, right overhands of Gomi. Damn,
yeah.
everyone should see this. You know, the street fight on the ring.
Mm.
Next, I have uh, Koji Takeda against Takasuke Kume, Rising 27. Great fight. Something from the very first Okinawan event, Rising 32, Yoshiro Maeda against Mitsuhisa Sunabe. Two semi-retired guys, but the fight was super entertaining. I remember that Maeda was on Sunabe's back, and Maeda started to throw soccer kicks from the back of his opponent. Super unusual action. Then I have Yuki Ito against Hiroya from Super Rising 2. Ryuya Fukuda against Erson Yamamoto from Rising 44. Ryusei Ashizawa against Cozy Super Rising 3. And 2 appearances of Karshiga Outback against Yaman at Rising 49, aka Decade, so last New Year's Eve, and Karshiga Outback against Chihiro Suzuki Rising 50.
Okay, great. Did you happen to make also a? Well, I have a question. Why was Osuna Rashi versus Bob Sapp not on that list? Since you were there
Oh,
live.
forgot about it. One of the greatest and super entertaining fights. And I would have to say the last Bob Sapp's win, and I believe that it's his last fight in general.
Yeah. Well, he did fight a bear. I think after that, I think he fought a bear or something, but or something for Full Metal Dojo, but we're not counting that. Furuhata said that Mikuru targeted Yashi to fight lightweight, but Mikuru refused to continue to fight at lightweight division. A lot of the audience kind of understood when we watched lightweight Grand Prix semifinals that they are way more intense than Mikuru can deal with. Oh, so Yeah, it's probably better that he stayed at featherweights. I don't know if he could have hung with a lot of those. He probably could have defeated like a Kawajiri or something like that, but I'm not so sure. Like Pitbull at that time, I don't think he would have lasted along with Tofik or um I mean he did beat Gustavo. He did technically beat Gustavo, so that there's that. But I think majority of those lightweight GP guys he would be able to hang with. Did you make a submission list by any chance as well? Oh,
Of
go ahead.
course, I have it. It's also not long as the chaos list, but
Uh,
let's go. Uh, Rena against Ileana Valentino. It was a flying armbar. It was Saraba no Utake show, so it was the New Year's Eve 2015. Kanako Murata against Angela Magana. It was a Von Flu choke, Rising 12. Yuki Motoya against Justin Scoggins, TP choke, Rising 14 New Year's Eve 2018. Kazuyuki Miyata against Erson Yamamoto, the same show. Miyata won his farewell fight by a hammerlock.
mm,
Then I have Kyoji Horiguchi against Darion Caldwell, the same show by a guillotine, but it's not more about technique, but I think that it happened very suddenly and the high profile fight because it was
yes.
first ever bantamweight title fight, I believe.
Yes.
I'm yeah, okay. Hideo Tokoro against Shinobu Ota, the armbar, but the the way how Tokoro did it, it was very impressive, like a typical Tokoro.
Mm.
Ayaka Hamasaki against Miyu, it was a scissors choke. Then I have Kleber Koike against Kyle Aguon, Rising 25. It was a Bravo choke, the very first one in Rising.
Mm-hmm.
It it was in I think it was 2021. So after 6 years, we had a first Dars or Bravo choke. So such a long time. Next, I have Daisuke Nakamura against Suguruni.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome fight, and Nakamura won by a flying armbar. Tanner Lurenko against Shinya Komazawa gi choke, the very first one and the only gi choke in Rising because almost nobody fights in a gi. Grant Bogdanov against Keisuke Okuda from the trigger first. It was the rear neck choke, but Grant Bogdanov blocked Okuda's one hand in a specific way. It was like a hammerlock like. And I liked it very much. Then I have something wrong with copy paste, but I will find it. Okay, now I have Claire Lopez against Serena. It was reverse knee bar from Landmark 5. And two Joji Goto twisters against Trent Gertham from Rising 43 and Junya Hibino from Landmark 6.
Oh, I'm surprised Juan Archuleta's the clever Juan Archuleta heel hook thing didn't make your list
Mm.
at the New Year's Eve show.
Oh yeah. Okay, okay. I agree that
That weird like
it should be
reverse.
present.
I that to me is still like I have looked at that 1,000 times and I still have no idea how that whole thing happened.
But
So
yeah, of course, it should be there.
Um, so I guess we're starting to wind down. I hate this question, but I gotta ask it. Where do you see Ryzen in 10 years from now, in 2035?
As much as oh yeah, okay, I can see the comment, but yeah, it's a very hard question because I would say as in back in the 2019, I couldn't imagine that Ryzen will be able to operate without terrestrial TV, and moreover, to be successful very successful without terrestrial TV and do the shows on a big setup of Saitama Super Arena or in the Tokyo Dome. As you know, if they will be progressing, maybe it will be more, towards they will be leaning more towards the international, a bit more into the side of international audience, maybe more international talent. I don't know if they will expand the roster and there will be more events. um, but it's a very hard question because uh, probably the future has things that we cannot predict, like today. The things from today we could not predict 6 7 years ago.
Oh yeah. I mean, who thought that we would have we'd be dealing with a worldwide pandemic? For whoever predicted that. Um, Komei Day has a interesting point. I'm not convinced Rising can continue without Sakakibara. Well, I mean, he said he's gonna retire. I think by a certain age. I think he said that's what he's planning to do, and probably Shingo would take over. I'm guessing, or I'm maybe I don't think Sasahara would take over. But I think Shingo would probably take over, is what I'm guessing. What do you think about that? Do you think Ryzen, if when Sakakibara leaves, do you think Ryzen can still be successful?
I hope so, but of course, Mr. Sakakibara is a big person. He is a charismatic person with a lot of connections in Japan. Uh, all
Sorry, no, I just
with that
laughed at that. Like,
connections too. Yes, of course. But I think if for example Shingo will take over the things, I think that he has a lot of know-how. But yeah, it's a really hard question. Who can really take over after Sakakibara? I can't tell you right now, but it's a very very interesting point. Who can continue the legacy when Sakakibara will go to the retirement?
maybe TKO will buy out Ryzen. Who knows?
Eh, I would not wish anyone to be bought by TKO.
So my big bold prediction is, and I said this on the Ozeki show, I think Ryzen is eventually going to adopt unified judging, not unified rules, but unified judging. I think I think they're going to get a lot of complaints from fighters that they don't understand the judging. I'll be honest. After watching the last few shows, I might be in favor at this point because I still don't know how judging is done in Ryzen at this point. So I feel like in the future they'll just tell the JMOC that we want to do unified judging, no more judging as a whole. Because also I believe all the other promotions, Deep and certainly Pancreas, and I believe Shuto do unified judging. Do you have any thoughts on that, Daniel? You think they'll go to unified judging?
I think
Not
I think
not
that
unified rules, but judging. Only judging. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I know. But Deep also having the unified judging.
Oh, Furuhata
If
says.
okay,
He
go
says
on.
Furuhata says that Sasahara ran Dream and could not continue. Shingo is not as crazy as Sakakibara, so Shingo needs to be as crazy as Sakakibara first. Okay, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. That's a good point also. Yeah, definitely.
But what are you
Uh,
going to say,
but
Daniel?
uh,
Go ahead.
but in two rounders of Deep, we have a unified judging. We have 10-point mass system. But at the end of the day, when there's a draw, there's a still judging by as an entire fight, not round by round at the end of
Mhm.
the day. So that's the funny point about unified judging in a two rounders. But they may to do this. But I would like to remind that Rising is been planning was planning in the past the new judging system. It's so-called hybrid. Some things from unified judging and some things from the, let's say, Rizin judging, the Japanese judging system. So I'm really looking forward. I think that the first try, maybe a sneak preview of works with the scoring system was during the Super Rising. I remember it was Super Rising 3, the Mikuru against Ren.
Mm, yeah,
Last man standing trophy.
yeah. Which then wind up even going.
It was under the
Yeah,
different system.
yeah, and it went and it was finished in 1 round. So, oh well. I think also Rise should start to do. I think Rise should do what K1 does and sell their name to just local promotions and get a little bit of money that way. I know that K1's doing that. They're just selling the K1 brand and they're just branding them like a K1 show when they're actually not a K1
Oh,
show.
just the license,
Yes.
yeah, okay, yeah,
Get a little
but
bit of money that way.
it's a classic K1, yeah,
Yeah.
because they've been doing it in the first incarnation of the promotion K1. I'm talking about the K1, not the Ryzen right now. Uh,
Mm.
I remember that there were also the K1 branded events even in Poland. So yeah, maybe that's some way. But in the future, I would like more events, of course, per year. But that's the idea that I'm writing about on very often. The Some development shows in the dead months, not big cards, just 5 fights, up to 6 fights, maybe for some prospects. I
What?
know
You don't
that.
want 18 fights? You don't want 18 fights of prospects? You don't want 1-1? You don't want 18 fights of 1-1 versus 0-1 guys? Oh, come on, Daniel.
uh, but actually, I would say I would like to. Things that I would like to see again. That's mm, the change of uh, the ideas for formats of the events. Do you remember the times when we had uh, numbered ones,
Mm,
super ones, but like a flagship
yeah,
shows, summer flagship
yeah.
shows. Then we had a trigger show. So basically, the thing that landmark is now, and the landmarks shows with some let's say studio events, but I think that they aimed to have an events in a bit more like in a bit more unorthodox places.
Hmm.
I believe that was the first idea for the landmark. So I would like to see Blue Series again with Blue Rising logo. Uh, but maybe in a different way that it took place a couple of years ago.
Gotcha. Well, I guess the very last question I'll have for you is, what do you think Horizon's going to do for next year after Saitama is going under renovations? What do you see them mostly doing, like their flagship shows?
Uh, I have no doubts that the next year's New Year's Eve will take place in a dome.
Oh yeah.
I think it will happen. Probably the dome is booked right now when we
Yep.
are talking about it. I think they could predict some things. But speaking about the way, I would say this year they had. Uh, do you remember how many shows in Saitama Arena they had this year? I think just 2, because they have dropped the usual September date.
Okay. Well, um, Ryzen, obviously that Super Ryzen show they had in the New Year's Eve show that they're gonna will be there. Might have been, yeah, might have been, it might be 2 or 3 at this point. I think it was three. I think it's gonna be 3 total. Yeah. Um,
Uh, let,
Kobe.
let, 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 let me check.
Kobe says
I
that Tokyo Dome is kind of dependent on Mikuru fighting there. Yeah, that's true.
Oh
True.
yeah, of course, of course, of course. But yeah, Super Rising 4. It was the only Saitama Super Arena show this year.
Oh, it was. Oh, okay. I thought. Okay. Wow. Okay. I thought they would. Well, I guess it'll be two then total, including the New Year's Eve show that's gonna be happening. So, oh,
Yeah,
that's interesting. Okay.
because okay, 50 took place in Shikoku, in
Yeah.
Takamatsu. Then
Yes.
we had a Tokyo Dome show. Then World Series show in South Korea,
Mm.
Sapporo show, Super Rising in Saitama. Then Nagoya, and the next show will take place in Kobe. So only the New Year's Eve will be the last remaining show
I think
in Saitama.
Super Rise and Shikoku sounds like it would be a sexy show.
Uh,
No.
Maybe Super Rising Osaka.
Oh God. Wow. I would be like, no, 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 please no.
But
Uh,
I would like to say something that I wasn't aware about.
mhm.
We've been writing about that the fact that Kansai shows are usually not the greatest shows. Of course, we had Rising 41, the best show in Osaka. Uh, of course, we had some Saga show, but I think it was Saga is in Kyushu.
Mhm.
But I would like to remind that the Trigger First took place in Kobe. I think it was the one of the two most violent shows in the company's history with 43. I've made some review of the Trigger First, and I can't believe, despite kind of mediocre fight card on the paper, how many brutal finishes we got at this card.
So I think I've always made the argument that the Osaka shows tend to be the worst out of all
Oh
the
yeah,
shows. I don't think so much
of
it's
course.
Kansai, but usually, I mean, I'm also looking at the show here and like it may have been violent, but also I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, a lot of this is a very low level talent card, I have to say, unfortunately.
But if 43 was much better,
That was a Sapporo show, right?
yeah,
Uh, I think that has a little bit more high level talent on it. Let me double check. Oh, that had Kleber and Chihiro. I know that they had the no contest, but that was at least like a very like big what if made event. Let me see what else. Da, 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 da. Trent Girdham and Goto on paper was a high level match in my opinion. Uh, I think probably the most high level match on that Osaka card was on that Kobe card was probably um Nakata versus Horie probably.
Nakada Horia, yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. But as I said before, comparing to what we got on paper, it worked out very well.
Because I'm looking at the Sawamoto Matsuba match, and I have to assume that this match was boring as fuck because I don't remember anything about it. I remember Suzuki Yamamoto not being anything exciting. I Women's kickboxing is terrible, so this
Mm.
probably was like a terrible match as well. Oh, I
Oh,
remember this match. I remember the Kato Fujiwara match. I remember that being like a great bloody brawl. But they
you
stopped
had
it pretty
you you
early.
you had Jin Mandokoro on the card, who is a top rise kickboxer actually. Uh, on the same card, you had okay, the Teparit against Ichimura
Yeah.
ended by a finish. You had Tsubota against Kamaya, the KO from a clinch knee. Grant Bogdanov, who submitted Keisuke Okuda.
Yeah.
Also, Chihiro Suzuki struggling with Sora Yamamoto. I think that a lot of finishes, some single bad moments, but in overall, I think that it was super entertaining card, especially comparing what we had on paper. I would like to say it once again. But anyway, it was really good run by Rizin because before the trigger first we had 32, so great show, the first Okinawa show, and 31 also really good show. One of the, I think the 31 was one of their best show in the history.
So Komei Day says 2025 will be the highest average attendance per show of any MMA promotion besides Pride FC. I'm very happy that you're giving PFL their flowers, Komei Day. Thank you so much for finally being that 2025 PFL has drawn more than Ryzen. And also Kobe Day says Trigger 1 is an event with a boring Chihiro Suzuki fight that has only happened
Yeah.
twice. What would be the other one? What would be the other Chihiro boring Suzuki fight?
I think that his fight with against Mikuru wasn't very entertaining.
Oh, okay. Okay. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, you know, oh no, Chihiro versus Imanari was hilarious. Imanari is always hilarious.
Yeah, of course, I
No,
like it very much.
boo. I have to disagree with that. Sorry. Um, oh, Daniel, we're gonna have to wrap this up. Any last comment or anything you'd like to say about Ryzen? 10 years.
It was a really great 10 years. I hope that the next year I will be able to go to Japan and see another, my seventh Rising show. And I wish the Rising and for all of people from the let's say fan base, the next 10 years as well as well successful as the last years, and I'm really looking forward what they have in a pocket next year.
Great. Where can people reach you, Daniel?
You can write my Twitter. You can find me on Twitter/X. My first name from my name and my old surname. DDZIUBICKI. Also, you can catch me on Instagram, but I'm posting there my more of my actually almost all my private stuff. Oh, this is my ex profile. But my Instagram is Daniel double space DDEE. And I think this is all the notable places that you can catch me. Also, I have a Facebook. If you want, you can add me to your friends. But I'm not posting there a lot of things. So I think that's all.
Okay, great. And just gonna quickly say, I'm getting tired because I took a pill earlier, and so I'm starting to feel the effects now. Go to eatshroombar.com to use and use code WAR to get 25% off your first order. You know the whole deal by now. But Daniel, thank you so much. We'll definitely be having you on for a preview at some point or something else, Rise related. And excuse me, sorry. And yeah, hopefully we could do this in another 10 years. If we're still alive by then, if the whole world hasn't gone insane.
Of course. Thank you very much.
And also,
Once
everybody,
again,
please, everybody, like and subscribe and comment. Like, subscribe, comment for algorithm reasons, okay? And all that. Please, and we'll have a part 3 eventually with somebody else to talk about 10 years of Rising. Take care, everybody. Have a good night.
good night.